And now we get really weird. All right. Before it was just kind of like, it's kind of interesting because, these guys were starters. They're moving on, former high draft picks, guys that were pretty good in college. Now we're getting weird. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles trade for Kenny Pickett among the whole. So last time we discussed Russell Wilson signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're like, oh my gosh, they've got a quarterback room of Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson. What is this? What is happening? What are we doing? And then Pittsburgh is like, no more to Kenny Pickett. They send him away to the dungeon, otherwise known as Philadelphia. And the Eagles also get a 4th-round pick with Kenny Pickett. And the Steelers get a 3rd-round pick and 2 2025 second-round picks. So they actually get some decent return on him. Now, the problem, of course, is that they used a 1st-round pick on Kenny Pickett. And they only really gave him a couple of seasons. That was my confusion, at least, was that I was like, well, I kind of thought they liked this guy. He's from Pennsylvania. He went to University of Pitt. He was a pretty good quarterback. He was one of the higher graded quarterbacks in a weak quarterback class that season. And I guess they just weren't that high on him because they said, you're done. I'm out with you. And I don't know if there was some drama going on. Kenny Pickett's people apparently were saying that they didn't like the idea of the QB competition, and that they were even saying that the Steelers organization was saying, no, you're not the starter. Russell Wilson is going to be the starter now, which is mind-boggling to me because I don't think Kenny Pickett's amazing, but Kenny Pickett surely has better upside than Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson, we saw just how bad he has been in the past couple of seasons with Denver. I don't think he's going to be back to where he was, at this point nearly a decade ago with Seattle. So to just give up on a quarterback like that, and, for Philly, I guess now you have a pretty competent backup to Jalen Hurts, a guy who, it's funny, there's actually a picture of Kenny Pickett in an Eagles jersey. So I guess he grew up an Eagles fan, which is interesting because he went to Pitt, and, Pittsburgh and Philly are like rival cities, kind of, at least in hockey they are. But either way, I'm just shocked by a 1st-round quarterback going just like that. However, there was another 1st-round quarterback that went to the Steelers, and his name is one Justin Fields. Now, I gotta say, I hate to say I told you so. I hate to be the guy who just rubs it in and makes people feel bad when I'm right and they're wrong. But Justin Fields is terrible. Everybody thinks Justin Fields is terrible. The NFL thinks Justin Fields is terrible. The only people that I can discern that think that Justin Fields is a good quarterback are fantasy football players and Chicago Bears fans. Those are the only 2 people. And I guess weird, stat nerds who look at box scores and don't actually watch football games, because every single time I've watched Justin Fields play football, it has been terrible. It has been awful throws. It has been sacks, interceptions, fumbles, nonsense, blowing games. I watched him blow a game to the Lions that he had dead to rights, but because of his own foolishness and bad play, Lions end up stealing the game. And I don't know why everybody suddenly, it was starting from last year. It's all of a sudden people are like, oh, Justin Fields, maybe he's their guy. He's going to lead the Bears. They're going to be the best team in that division. Don't sleep on the Bears. And I was like, no, actually, they're terrible. They are very not good. And he specifically is part of the reason they're very not good. So anyway, Justin Fields is traded to the Steelers for 2025 draft pick. So that is the return. By the way, the Chicago, from the Pittsburgh Steelers Twitter account, acquired Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 2025 conditional 6th-round pick. So it's a conditional 5th or 6th-round pick. That is what the NFL thinks of him. That, and it's it's shocking to people. And I'm like, what is so shocking? He can't throw. He's terrible in the 4th quarter. He's blown more leads than I don't need Kyle Shanahan could imagine. He's the quarterback embodiment of the Kyle Shanahan blown lead. And he takes more sacks and turns the ball over more than any quarterback in the league. I want to say in the past 2 seasons, I saw some stat that he was sacked. Him and Russell Wilson, ironically, were sacked the most the last 2 seasons. Like, for a guy who's supposedly mobile, and look, he is mobile. Like, he can run and he can take off. He gets sacked more than the immobile guys, like, which is its own sort of interesting circumstance. But I never thought Justin Fields was good. Even like his rookie year, it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, maybe and then like there was just this weird fantasy. Like, he got an MVP vote. I just want people to think about this. A player who was taken in the first round, who was traded for a 2025 conditional 6th round pick, got an MVP vote. An MVP vote. Like, that is, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. But that's just what it is. The media is a powerful tool, and Justin Fields is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. So, and the other thing I wanted to talk about with this, I got to say, I have no idea what the heck the Steelers are doing. Like, I have no clue what their plan is. So they're bringing in all these quarterbacks that nobody likes. They're bringing in Russell Wilson. They're bringing in Justin Fields. They're trading away their hometown kid quarterback in Kenny Pickett, who, as far as I was concerned, has more upside than either of these quarterbacks. And instead, they're getting rid of wide receiver. Like, I don't. What is the plan? Like, they have a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. They get rid of Matt Canada, who was terrible. And now they're sitting with the two, maybe the worst quarterback room outside of, like, I don't know, maybe whatever. I guess we'll see at the end of the draft what situation looks worse. But I don't know that Russell Wilson will have much success here. And you already traded Deontay Johnson, who was one of their better receivers, like I said. They're really trying to start over in a sense, but I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. It doesn't make much sense to me. Whatever they're doing, it's either going to completely blow up in their face, and this is going to be finally going to be the year where Mike Tomlin does not have a winning record or a 500 record, or they just sneak into the playoffs and lose like they do every year. There's pretty much going to be no in between. I don't think they're going to be contenders with this quarterback room. I guess we could wait and see what they do in the draft, but I mean, the idea of them being aggressive in the draft is laughable to me. Like, I don't think the Steelers deal in aggressiveness in the draft. But I don't know. Stranger things have happened, and apparently trading for Justin Fields, I didn't have that on my resume. My bingo card going into the season. That's for sure. Hey there, what you just watched was actually a clip from a larger show that we do every Tuesday night. What are you doing Tuesday night? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button so that you don't miss out on any more of our weekly shows every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.